Hey everybody, it's Jolene. Welcome to my channel again. I got a suggestion from someone to talk about healthy foods and how to shop for them, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into that today. If anybody else has any suggestions, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. I want to start by saying how I started my health journey. It was about 5 years ago. I went for my regular visit to my endocrinologist, and he was dictating the notes from my visit, and I heard the word obese. Me? No, I was a size 14. Isn't that the average American woman? I thought I was, but I was obese. That is because my BMI was over 30. And I have some figures here for the BMI. You can find those little how to calculate it on the internet. They're all over the place. So what you do is you can just put in your height and your weight, and it tells you what your BMI number is. As I said, anything over 30 is obese. Overweight is anything between 25 and 29.9, and normal is anything less than 18.5. So I was determined that I was going to get into that normal BMI because I was not going to be considered obese. That word was just awful to me. So I went home and I started doing research because I didn't want to get on some plan or program. That's just you're gonna lose weight for a little while and you're gonna gain it back as soon as you get off the plan or program. I wanted this to be for life. So I started researching, and what I came up with was basically a low carb, not no carb, low carb, low gluten, and that's because I have never been diagnosed with a gluten sensitivity, but I believe that I do have a gluten sensitivity. So I started eating less gluten, and also a high fat diet, but good fats. And I'm not going to go into too much of that today. I do have a video that I did about 3 years ago, and you'll be able to find that. It's very in-depth about fats. Now, you really have to find what works for you. What worked for me may not work for you, but it did work for me, so I need to disclose that up front. I do believe, though, to lose weight, it's not about taking away anything. It's about adding. Let me explain that. You remember in my last video, I talked about water and how you have to drink half your weight in ounces of water per day. So there you go. That's one add. You add that. Another add would be to eat more vegetables. Really, you need to have fruits and vegetables, more so vegetables than fruits though, 5 to 7 servings a day. Add that to your diet. Your vegetables in a meal should be about 2/3 of your plate. We really need to have more of a plant-based diet. So again, add fruits and vegetables. Add the correct amount of protein. And add the correct amount of complex carbs. And it's usually not a whole lot, but you do need carb. You do. You need it for your brain to function. You need it for energy. So you just need to make sure you're eating the complex carbs. And I'll talk about that more in a later video. And here's the biggie. No sugar. You have to totally say no. And not only to sugar, but to sugar substitutes. That's worse. It's worse than sugar. It was really hard to do that, in the beginning, and I want to say that we do eat organic, a small amount of organic and natural sugar now, but to lose weight, we really just, for about 4 months, we didn't eat any sugar whatsoever. I want to, again, stress about not eating sugar substitute. It basically tricks your brain to thinking that you are getting calories and you are getting energy. So in turn, it makes you hungry to eat sugar substitute. And it also causes inflammation, and it disrupts your hormones. It's just not a good thing. And as awful as it sounds, I have never seen a skinny person drinking a Diet Coke. It just doesn't work. So get off of that train completely. There are no good sugar substitutes. I want to talk about my meals and what I do in a day now, every day, my meals. Again, this is not going to work for everybody because it works for my schedule. I have done some research on intermittent fasting. It's cutting edge information. A lot of people don't believe in it. I totally do. The information I have found is that men can do it for a longer period of time than a woman. A woman should fast no more than 12 hours because it will start affecting their hormone levels, and that's not good. But it does work for me, and with my son's school schedule and everything, my first meal usually isn't until about 10 or 10:30. I do drink a lot of water before then, but I eat my first meal. I eat a really big breakfast. My first meal is usually a spinach omelet with sprouted toast and grass-fed butter on that, and coffee with only a little bit of sugar in it. I usually put 2 teaspoons of sugar, but that's like a large cup. It's probably like about 2 cups of coffee. So that's my breakfast. Sometimes I do have an avocado toast. Again, avocado on sprouted bread with a fried egg on top. And eat those yolks. I made a post about that, and really I'm going to have a whole video on why you need to eat the egg yolk. All your nutrition is in the egg yolk. Now, that's about 10 or 10:30. I don't eat lunch until about 3 or 3:30. And that's usually my big meal of the day, which is usually some type of protein and vegetables. Again, 2/3 of your plate of vegetables. I'm not afraid of carbs. You know, sometimes we do have carbs. Sometimes we do have rice. Sometimes we do have pasta. It's okay. I don't believe in any diet or plan that's going to make you give up entire food groups, or, you know, who doesn't want to not eat pasta the rest of their life? I'm sorry. You know, that's just, to me, setting you up for failure. So that's what I do for lunch. And then dinner, I usually don't work out, weightlifting until somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. Sometimes I'm getting out of my gym at 10. So at that point in time, I usually do have a protein shake, and not one of those ones that have everything in it. I make my own protein shake with organic whey and banana and dates and peanut butter and things like that. It's not one of those scoop and mix things. No, those are really, really, really awful. So anyway, that's what I do. And that's sometimes if we're not working out and I don't have a protein shake, then I might just eat something like cheese or fruit or nuts. And if I'm hungry during the day, I am going to have a snack. I mean, that's when I get my fruit in usually. Right now I have some apples sitting right next to me. It's a snack. And guess what, y'all? I do bake, and I do have goodies every now and then, and that's okay too, because again, I'm not gonna say I can't have whole food groups and hey, isn't dessert a food group? No, that's not gonna happen. But anyway, we have stayed, I lost 50 pounds. It took about 4.5 months to do that. And then with working out, I actually lost another size in clothing, even remaining the same weight. So to the ounce, me or my husband, we have not gained any weight. So I know what we're doing is working. So now I want to talk about, how do you shop? How did I start doing this? Can you do it in a conventional grocery store? At this point in time, I have worked my way to shop at Whole Foods solely and Costco, because they do have a lot of great organics. But I started out at Winn-Dixie. So, you know, you can do that. The main thing is you have to shop the perimeter of the store. Think about it. The perimeter is where the vegetables and fruits, the dairy, the meats, that's all great foods. A lot of that food doesn't even have labels. So that's really what you're working for. You also want to try to not eat the dirty dozen. And I have a list of the dirty dozen. These are things that you do want to buy organic. ultimately, you want to get to an organic diet. And the reason for this is all the chemicals in the food, the antibiotics that the cows are getting, it goes on and on. That is all going to keep weight on you. That is inflammation, plus it is hormone disruptors. So that's all going to keep weight on you. So you want to work yourself to an organic diet. It's not going to happen overnight. It didn't for me. First, we started eating vegetables and fruits, organic, and then we went to the grains, and then lastly, we went to the meat. And the reason we get the meat is not from Whole Foods, because that's something, honestly, you can't afford there. I mean, sometimes, I've seen meat $18, $25 a pound there. No, we bought a freezer, and we got a half a cow or a pig, depending on the time of the year, and that runs us between $3 and $4 a pound. So, I'm getting grass-fed meat that has no hormones, antibiotics, whatever, for that price. So that's something to work toward. It's not going to happen right away. But let's get back to the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen, these are foods that you absolutely need to buy organic. And I'm looking at the list right now. Most of these things you can get organic at Winn-Dixie, Rouse's, sometimes even Walmart. So here are the things that you should not eat unless they are organic. First, strawberries. Sorry, people, that includes the Ponchatoula strawberries. You need to get organic. Ponchatoula strawberries are not organic. They're highly sprayed. So sorry about that. Spinach, nectarines and peaches, apples, grapes, cherries, pears, tomatoes, another biggie for Southeast Louisiana. You need to get an organic tomato. They're very highly sprayed. Celery, potatoes, and bell peppers. So if you're going to spend your money on anything organic, those are the first things you need to spend your money on, organic. And everything I've seen at Winn-Dixie, Walmart, except for maybe the nectarines and peaches. I haven't seen organic nectarines and peaches. But I don't see lettuce on that list. Lettuce needs to be on that list too. Mostly all the green leafy vegetables, they have to be organic. Now, you can save money on the Clean 15. You do not have to buy organic with these. They include avocados, corn, pineapple, cabbage, onions, peas, papayas, asparagus, mangoes, eggplants, honeydew melons, kiwi, cantaloupe, cauliflower, and broccoli. Those you can just use the conventional way. If you didn't catch that list, you can find it on the internet. It's called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So this is how you can save money. Put the money toward the things that you absolutely need to buy organic. Now, there's other ways to shop. The big Costco and Sam's stores. If you look at Costco and Sam's, you will see that green label. That means it's organic. So you can really get some good deals at those two places as far as organics go. And they have a lot through the store, not only just vegetables and fruits, but they have like quinoa and rice and oatmeal and olive oil and things like that. I prefer Costco. They do have a better selection of organics, and if they don't have something, they'll try to get it for you. Particularly the vegetables and fruits. They are just great with organics. Things I buy at Costco is sprouted bread, which is like the Ezekiel bread. It's not Ezekiel at Costco, but it is a different brand, and it is half the cost of the Ezekiel bread. So it's like $2.50 a loaf when it's usually like about $5 or more a loaf at Whole Foods. So I do eat sprouted bread because remember I said I had a gluten sensitivity, and I find sprouted grains really don't give me any problems. Again, organic fruits and vegetables are great at Costco. Your Kerrygold butter is great at Costco. Coffee is one of the most sprayed agriculture products in the world. So you should be drinking organic coffee. Flour, sugar, maple syrup, olive oil, avocado oil, all of that is great if you can go to one of those membership stores to buy. at this point in time that I'm buy most of my organics there, what I do buy at Whole Foods is dairy, sale items of course, and no nitrate lunch meat, because my son has a sandwich every day for school, bacon and sausage. I get the no nitrate because nitrates are really bad for you, so you want to get that. And unfortunately, Costco and Sam's has yet to carry that as far as I know, so I do get that at Whole Food. Getting to the meat again, the reason it's important to eat grass-fed, pastured meat is because of the omega-6 to 3 ratio. That's causing a lot of health problems because the American diet, it's just off balance. Let me give you a comparison. A grass-fed meat has an omega-6 to 3 ratio of 4 to 1, which is where you want to be. The conventional meat at the conventional grocery stores, the omega-6 to 3 ratio is 20 to 1. This is causing a lot of health problems, so you have to understand that. I'm not even going to talk about the inhumane conditions these animals live in. Just Google it. You will never want to eat that meat again. It's just awful. They're also fed the improper foods, and then they get sick because they eat the improper foods, so then they have to give them antibiotics. And it's just not a good thing. And again, that's the most expensive thing, but you need to work your way up to that. I mean, I can give y'all some names of people, farmers who I know, that maybe can help you with that. Something else that I'm really excited about is that in March I'm going to be getting a CSA box. That's Community Supported Agriculture. What that is that you pay someone up front, and you're kind of an owner of the seeds. You know, he gets like the farmer gets a lot of people to put in and buy seeds for his land, and he plants them. And when they produce, you get a box of vegetables every week. And I know they do have those around New Orleans. I'm not sure how many on the North Shore, but where I'm at, I just got in contact with someone who's going to do that, and I'm thrilled because it is heirloom vegetables that are organic, and I'm going to get a box every week. So that's a way to go. I mean, I broke it down. I think it's going to cost me like $10.50 a box for organic vegetables, heirloom quality, brought to my door once a week. So, you know, you can't beat that. So maybe you should check into that if you're trying to save some money and, you know, try out some newer vegetables. Getting back to the meat, Michael Pollan is one of my favorite authors, and he is an activist for organic and grass-fed. And his line is, "You are what you eat eats," and this is a fact. So think about that. Cows are eating soy. We should not be having soy products. They have antibiotics. Another thing that they're feeding the cows, and again, look it up, it's a fact. They candy in wrappers. They give them to fatten them. It must be like expired candy that they can't sell from companies. They ship it to these places where they raise the cows, and they give them the candy, wrappers and all. They eat chicken manure. They eat plastic pellets even. So think about that when you are trying to convert into a more organic diet. That, you know, it's just not good. You are what you eat eats, and that's a great line. So anyway, I hope y'all got some information from this video. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.